Good morning, everybody, and welcome. This is Kaya, and welcome to this edition of My Yard Sucks. However, it doesn't. If you can recall, last year I had a really bad problem. I had bug infestation. I had all kinds of things going on in my yard, and I was quite disappointed with the outlook of it. But this year it's looking rather promising. So last year in this area here, then in a large portion of this area there, I ended up doing a resod, but I didn't resod the whole yard. I just kind of put in some patches of grass in this area along in here, a big area along in here, and then a little bit in here and in here. So I am looking pretty good this year. Today is 5/7 of 2022. So compared to last year, I'm looking really good. During the wintertime, the grass did turn brown and it frightened me so bad I thought it was all going to die, but it was still healthy and it greened right up for me. I didn't have to pull 7 bags of weeds or any amount, hardly, maybe 1 bag, because I do pull, as I told you in one of my other videos. I'll say I pulled about 1 bag, but it wasn't very much because the grass was actually living. You could see right up in here where it's still trying to come together from the resod, because when I did the resod, it was the spots were not even. So I went ahead and just plopped them down. I just had various places that I did put them down, and the grass is doing well. I decided to go and utilize a program from a local nursery. I suggest that for anyone, but I just started using it, so I can't tell whether or not it's going to be effective or not. This is another area that I did end up resodding some pieces down in here. And you can kind of see where it's still trying to come together, but I'm really pleased with it. It's not at its best state, but I figured I'd just go ahead and show it anyway because my brother did ask me how the yard was coming, and I thought I wanted to just go ahead and update that the grass is looking pretty good. It's looking healthy. I have an area right here where I had plenty of these little weeds that I couldn't pull them. They just would not pull for me. So I just had to go ahead and eradicate those with some weed and grass killer. I'm sorry, correction, not weed and grass killer, but just weed killer, not grass killer. So I put that in this area, which is something I don't like to do, but those particular weeds, every time I would try to pull them, I could not get them to come out. They would just break off, and they were kind of spreading throughout this area. So I went ahead and eradicated those. So in the areas that you see that is a little bit brown, that is because I did treat that area with something that kills the weeds and not the grass. This is a bare spot because I never really put grass in here. I figured it would come together, and it's getting smaller. But what I'm going to do, and what I've already done, is put a little bit of topsoil here. So I'll go ahead throughout these areas that I know that still need to come together. I'll go ahead and put a little bit of topsoil. But the grass is healthy. It's looking really good. It does not suck. It's 2022 is looking like a better year. I started early. I got my line guy out here when it was still really cool, and I had him do a whole overhaul. So I'll put some topsoil in these areas as well, and then I'll come back and update you. The grass isn't cut. It's not at its best state. It's like it doesn't have on its makeup right now, but I still thought I would let you see that it's doing really good. It doesn't have very many weeds in it at all. Whatever weeds that were in there, because the grass is growing back so healthy, it's not as much. So anytime you get the grass healthy, it's a good battler for the weeds. So you want to kill the weeds or pull the weeds, and then you also want to feed the grass so that it can fight back. So that is it. I will cut this yard and manicure it a little bit, and then I'll update you again in a few weeks because I did use something in the yard that was from the local nursery. It was some type of nitrogen. So I'm hoping that in a few weeks it'll green up And once it greens up, it'll look better. And I also use something for bugs in the yard as well from the local nursery. So if you do have a local nursery in your area that is not your big box stores, but like a local nursery, and I see these are the weeds that I was telling you about that was on the other end that I could not pull. So I'll have to come down here and try to kill those. But that is what they look like. I'm not sure the name of them. They kind of have like a little flower on them, but I'm just not sure what they are. And I have a few here and I had a few there, which I did spray, but I didn't see these. So I'll get those. But I'll come back and update in a few weeks. Hopefully it's green. And I'll put down the topsoil and it's looking good. So that's it for my update. And thank you anyone who's interested. I'm in the Florida area. This is St. Augustine grass. Thank you so much. Have a great day.